The decision for the US, Canada, and Mexico borders to remain shut between each other has been further extended. With the coronavirus numbers rising in the US and Mexico expecting a spike anytime now, the Canadian authorities have taken the decision to extend border closures. The land borders between the United States, Canada, and Mexico will remain closed until at least February 21st. This is the latest extension of the closure that has been in place for nearly a year. In this video, we discuss why and how America's borders with Canada and Mexico will remain closed for another month. But first, we want to thank you for joining us. Find us on all the other social media channels, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that bell to get notified when we release a new video. We also appreciate your likes and comments below, as it helps to support our channel. It's been almost 9 months since the land border between the US, Canada, and Mexico has been shut, and crossings were limited to essential travel only due to the global pandemic. On January 12, 2021, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced another 30-day extension of the closure of Canada's border with the United States. Canadian border will remain closed to non-essential travel at least until February 21, 2021. The Department of Homeland Security echoed the announcement, revealing that the border closure for non-essential travel will be extended to the 21st of February. The Department of Homeland Security stated that, in order to continue to prevent the spread of COVID, the US, Mexico, Canada will extend the restrictions on non-essential travel through February 21st. We are working closely with Mexico and Canada to keep essential trade and travel open, while also protecting our citizens from the virus, it added. The current closure was set to expire on the 21st of this month, and this marks the 8th time the closure has been extended for a period of 1 month since the initial closure in March. The closure specifically affects land borders, meaning non-essential travel is prohibited between the countries for those traveling by road. Both Mexico and the US are welcoming residents of the continental countries by other methods of travel, such as air, for non-essential purposes, though testing and quarantine requirements are in place. Canada is prohibiting non-essential travel from the neighboring countries through other forms of travel, including air. The closure effectively restricts non-essential travel through land borders between Canada and the US. Tourism and recreational visits via land borders will not be allowed. Essential travel that remains open for the land borders includes reasons for work, health, emergencies, or compassionate grounds. These closures are especially challenging for communities living on the US-Canada border. In some cases, Canadian residents have been left no choice but to fly into the US to visit family that lives just minutes away from them by road. The land borders have been closed since March 18, 2020. The Department of Homeland Security has acknowledged they are working with Canada and Mexico to ease restrictions in the future. We are working closely with Mexico and Canada to keep essential trade and travel open, while also protecting our citizens from the virus, DHS announced in a tweet on the 12th of January. DHS is working closely with our counterparts in Mexico and Canada to identify appropriate public health conditions to safely ease restrictions in the future and support US border communities. While it was not immediately clear when the borders would reopen, the agency said it was assessing risk factors, including public health conditions, and US Customs and Border Protection staffing levels. The US has also recently announced the requirement for a negative COVID-19 test for all international arrivals regardless of vaccination status, while Canada implemented the same requirement earlier this month. The move to implement testing requirements presents a layer of security, in which the eventual easing of border restrictions seems like a possibility. Foreign nationals, including United States citizens, can travel to Canada for eligible reasons including, but not limited to family members, and essential purposes only. As of January 7, 2021, travelers flying into Canada must provide proof of a negative COVID test taken 72 hours prior to departure. The rule applies to all air passengers aged 5 and older. Canada accepts two types of acceptable tests: molecular polymerase chain reaction test, loop-mediated isothermal amplification test. Countries where there are no testing facilities, such as Haiti and Saint Pierre at Miquelon, will not be required to provide a negative test result. Until January 14, travelers coming from the Caribbean and South America can get their test done 96 hours prior to arrival in Canada, rather than 72 hours. Travelers who show negative COVID-19 tests are still required to complete the 14 days of self-isolation, and the previous guidelines for students coming to Canada still remain the same, and apply to everyone. Canadian citizens and permanent residents are advised to avoid all non-essential travel outside of Canada until further notice, to limit the spread of COVID-19. Mexico is open to travelers. Mexico has been liberal about admitting tourists without proof of negative COVID tests upon arrival, or quarantine requirements, at a time when other nations have blocked or restricted travel to their own territories. Travelers into the country must complete a health declaration form and scan the QR code it generates on arrival. What are your thoughts on the extended border closure? Do you see any merit in opening the borders like Mexico? Comment below. If you need assistance with a visa to Europe, the UK, or the US, including help with securing your travel arrangements, IAM can help. For visa advice, contact your IAM visa coordinator. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for more travel and visa updates.